All right, let's look at the absolute values of complex numbers. All right, let's say we have a z, which can be written as x plus iy, or we can use a polar coordinate r e to the I theta, right, which is a complex number. And what we want to do is we want to find its absolute value. So absolute value of z is simply the square root of x squared plus y squared, right? So it's visually, so if you look at the complex plane, x-axis, here is the y-axis. Right. Then if you have a z, so let's say some here. So I'm going to use, actually I'm instead of x and y, since I'm using x and y here, I'm going to use a plus bi. So bi here. Right. So z is right here. Let's say this is our z, right? And then our value is simply the distance between the origin and the z. So this is going to be our absolute value of z, right? So that's from here to there, right? So we can just do, in this case, a squared plus b squared, and or x squared plus y squared. And in polar coordinates, this is going to be simply r, right? Then another way to express the same thing is using conjugate would be, you can also write it as a square root of z times z conjugate. Right, so let's verify that first. Actually, let's do an example first. A simple example. So if you're looking for example, absolute value of 2 plus 3i, right? So this is simply square root of 2 squared plus 3 squared, right? So this is going to be 4 plus 9, so it's square root of 13. Right? So easy to find. Right? So let's verify this part, this formula here. Right? Let's say let's look at the square root of z times z bar, right? Right, so z is x plus iy, and then z bar is x minus iy, right? Which means that you're going to have square root of, so this is going to be x squared minus iy squared, right? But I squared is -1, so you end up with x squared plus y squared, right? Which is the same formula as the absolute value of z, right? So this verifies this formula there. Right. Sometimes the formula with the conjugate is useful to compute the absolute value, but we can use other formula as well. Right. So that's it. I hope that this was clear.